and welcome back to Are You Ready for Your Inspection podcast. I hope you're well. It is certainly looking very autumnal out there today. This is when the thermals get on, so I don't know if many of you are watching this and wear thermals like I do. I live and breathe the thermals in the autumn and in the winter. Got a little bit of I like the sun, so I'm a little bit like to be warm, so to speak. So today, if you don't know, my name is Vanessa Dooley. The podcast is all about exploring all things related to the early years sector and inspections here in the UK. And I'm your host. And today we are going to be talking about, this is really important, really close to my heart, is the main purpose of training in our sector and how it will shape the lives of our children in our care. Now, as an early years consultant, I have had the privilege of witnessing the most amazing transformative power of well-trained professionals in nurseries and preschools and childminders. But I want to start with the main thing really, because we forget about it too much, is what's the fundamental question, and that is, what is the main purpose of training in the early years sector? So we know it's about equipping our staff, our practitioners, our educators with the knowledge, the skills, the tools that they need to provide best possible care and education for our children. And it's not about ticking boxes. It's about nurturing our young minds and setting a strong foundation for their future. And it's literally to ensure that children are in a safe and secure environment, and properly trained staff understand health and safety protocols. They understand about reducing risk and creating a secure and safe place for children to explore and learn. And also, training enhances the quality of early years education, and actually it makes sure that we are tailoring our teaching to those individual unique children, and making sure that we are helping them grow emotionally. It enables us to include diversity and inclusion, and ensuring that children from all backgrounds are welcomed and supported. It gives parents confidence, and when parents know that their child is in the hand of trained professionals, they can relax and trust the care and education that they're getting. So really thinking about CPD then, enhancing our professional skills and knowledge, helps us as practitioners to stay updated with latest developments, best practices and trends in the early years sector. And there are many ways that you can do CPD. Listening to this podcast is for one of them. Watching webinars, reading articles, doing face-to-face training, doing training whether it's online. There are so many things that you can do. But there is one thing that they all need to have, and they all need to be ensuring that you're adding impact into everyday children's learning and development, okay? It makes sure, so CPD helps you maintain competence, and as an early years consultant, it is crucial to maintain a high level of competence in your field. CPD ensures that you stay competent and capable of addressing all of those challenges and changes that are happening in the sector every day, and I see this every day. The one that I'm seeing most at the moment is the fact that, and I'm going to say this out there, is about talking about ratios, and I've said this before, is the fact that in April, Ofsted did a blog about reducing the ratios so that it's over the whole building. I'm going to say this to you, that actually you should only change those ratios if your statutory framework, which is the mandatory framework that we use, is changed. And what they're meaning is so say for example, if children are asleep, that's what it means. It does not mean every day, because I am seeing so many settings that are taking this and using what that blog meant and use it in a way that actually doesn't ensure that children are kept safe at all times. Okay, so please be mindful of that and stick to what the statutory framework says. Stick to what it says, okay? Also, CPD is that we are adapted to changes. So the early years sector is not static at all. It evolves with time, and in fact it evolves every day. And actually CPD equips you with the knowledge and skills to adapt to all of those regulatory changes, shifts in educational philosophy, emerging child development, the research that's going on, all of those things that we're doing. So for me, for example, is that one of those things that is all about a sense of belonging, listening to children's voices, asking children if we can change their nappies, there's personal care. When I was in a setting, that didn't happen. But as time's gone on and it's emerging, is seeing that we need to be listening to those children's voices. And that's really, really important that we are adapting to those changes. And that's something that we put in our Brilliant Little Minds training about actually asking children those personal care routines, asking their permission, because that's really important. So CPD is literally helps us improve on our own performance, and I love training. I absolutely adore it. I'm like a sponge. If I can get into something and think about what I'm doing, it's really important that I continually refine what we are doing. And I really do this, and I believe this in our studio as well, that we are literally looking at everything we're doing and thinking, what can we do to make it better? And it is learning new skills. And actually this ultimately translates into improving our performance in our role and offer more valuable guidance and support to the settings that we work with, okay, that we're working in. Also, CPD enhances our career opportunities. It opens many doors for new career opportunities and advancement within your current role. And I often get asked as well is the fact that actually, what can we do to become an early years consultant? And it's progressive. Keep going with whatever we are doing and making sure that we are literally learning and upskilling and being at the forefront of everything that we are doing and valuing what we are in our professional development is part of us, that sets us apart to actually improve what we're doing. It helps us have personal growth, enables us to network as well on everything that we're doing. And all of those things that we are doing actually helps us ensure that we are creating a safer and secure environment for children, ensuring that we are encouraging and engaging new activities and teaching methods that benefits children's learning experiences. So for those of you that do online training, and I'm not dissing it because it has its place, and it certainly had its place in COVID, it certainly did. However, we're out of COVID now, and actually we need to be seeking out those training that actually we feel that we have a benefit from and are able to ask those questions and engage in those ongoing debates and questions to help progress us really, and making sure that we are, supporting any new staff and actually empowering us to provide high quality care and education for children. It's really, really important that you ensure that your training is on top. And I know that it is down to funding. I understand that, but training needs to be part of it, because if we're not upskilling ourselves and if we're not upskilling our workforce, then we are not ensuring that children's learning and development is taking priority. And that's for a fact. Okay, I'm hoping that gives you something to think about. Go back and look at the training that you've done or your staff has done in the setting. Think about the impact that it has had. And if there's no impact, then why are we doing it? Please make sure that you do that. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope it helps. Again, golden nuggets of getting you ready for your inspection, but also golden nuggets of raising and adding impact in the early years sector. And that's why we do what we do. Take good care, and I will see you next week. See you soon.